What's about now? Now is the word with agility, right? I'm dumb. I'm a human. Are you a human? If you are feeling you are a human, please raise your hand. Thank you so much. So I'm so happy now with many humans here. So let me introduce myself a little bit. Before become a human today, I was a mechanical engineer before, a planning engineer, and I learned a lot about lean manufacturing. 10 years with SEG Chemicals. And then I moved from engineering to human resource development. That's why I learned a lot about people. And then I felt like I could lose a job if AEC is like fully come to Thailand in 2015. So I saw everything and moved to San Francisco and lived there 6 years. I studied English, business, and master degree of engineering management at San Jose State University. I learned about Agile at my university before traveling the world 30 days in 20 countries, in 20 cities and 7 countries. And then I teach people to understand Agile by cooking in Sweden and many countries, and cooking in Belgium and many countries around the world. And I became only Thai and first Scrum Inc. Scrum trainer with Scrum Inc. with Jeff Sutherland. So, what are you learning about my life? Oh, thank you so much. So, I have a book for you. Thank you so much for joining me. Yes, you're welcome. So, so it's about agile mindset actually. Yeah, I responding to change. If I didn't do anything, if I didn't do anything, I would sit around in Rayong today, not here, right? And I think some of you might face the same problem in March. I got a lot of calls, yeah, to like my clients cancel my workshops, my coaching sessions, yeah, in Thailand and in other countries. And then I had to learn something new for online teaching from this woman. Do you know her? Yeah, she's really awesome to like to entertain people from her sales sessions, and then she got a lot of money. So I didn't learn anything about Agile at all in March or in April. I just learned something new from her, how to make people excited when I teach people online. And you know what? After learning from her and try to give away free or like workshops or training, I got many calls, and then my business came back. And I got out of 10. When people ask me like, hey Dan, could you teach us online? Could we see your performance? And here, out of 10. And then this year, my business came back and my business performance even better than last year. This is really amazing. And this is Agile mindset again, handling with uncertainty. COVID is the best example in my life about uncertainty. Think about like today, you got fired. Could you get a job tomorrow morning? This is about agile mindset. And next, today I'm so happy to be here in my own country after speaking many countries. And today I'm happy to share with you 3 topics. The first one, application. The second one, ego. And the last one, compassion. Let's start with the first one, application. In February this year, yeah, I work with Sosi, I'm not sure, Sosi Langsalit Foundation to help researchers in Thailand to finish their research paper about how to help Thai students to construct the 21st century skills. Of course, yeah, researchers, they have their own step to finish their writing papers. I introduced them about Agile with Scrum. After learning a workshop with them, they didn't still understand how to change their traditional paper writing skills to Scrum. Yeah, they still believe in their waterfall, and they couldn't believe that they could change it. So I consulted with Jeff Sutherland because I heard that his company has helped many companies around the world to write research papers, and he connected me to someone that is my friend. Actually, you see that guy with the bald guy like me? He's my friend, Avi Schneider. He told me that, damn, you cannot apply 100 Scrum in research, especially when you writing a paper. And Avi, how to do that, how to make that happen, to help researchers to finish their paper research more quickly than before. And then he told me that, damn, you need to learn to tweak. After running many workshops in Thailand around the world, many people ask me like, hey, could you tell me how to be agile like you just was asked? How do you have a shortcut to build a culture? No, never. So you have to learn how to apply. You have to learn how to tweak, how to make your own recipe. When you cook, you cannot follow someone else's recipes, right? You have your own version. That's why we don't have to follow other people. One, two, three, four, five. We have to tweak and learn from there and then move on to be your own version. That's why we got this picture. For each step for writing uh, research papers, you learn to plan what you need to do next, and then every day you update what you did yesterday, and then when you finish each step, you gather up together, you review what you get from this step, and you retrospective what you learned before moving to the next step. This is the first one. You learn how to apply your knowledge. And let me move on to, oh, by the way, Edu Scrum will be in Thailand next year. Yesterday, I taught professors at Thurakit Bandit University. Yeah, I totally believe that we spend too much money to educate adults. How difficult it is. She is from HR. It's really difficult to educate adults, right? Why don't we just bring what we need in our business to young people? We need people with the right mindset. So teach young people. I totally believe that it's gonna be easier, yeah, to encourage them to change their mindset. Yeah, it's super difficult to what you are dealing right now, right? And let me move on to the next experience that I would like to share with you about ego. Ego is not your amigo. Amigo means a friend in Spanish, right? Spanish. Okay. It started with the fire in Australia in September 2019. Um, the fire burned many wild animals, and many people lost their life, and many people lost their home. 400 megatons of carbon dioxide was emitted to the atmosphere, and some of them travel 11,000 kilometers to across the South Pacific Ocean to Chile and Argentina. Because of the smoke, you see the sky in Chile became gray, and the sky in Argentina became red. Fortunately, we didn't get the smoke in Thailand. Unfortunately, we created PM 2.5 by our own country. That's sadder. So, yeah, By the way, we still see many things through social media that many cute koalas and kangaroo die because of the fire. To respond to this, many friends and I, who have many different backgrounds from engineering, from marketing, from social media, from transportation, we work together with our asilo. We decided to produce, we decided to create a project, I'll Stand By You, Australia. We produce a cloth bag, yeah, and we try to apply knowledge from Agile that we produce a few bags, and then we ask some donors to give us some feedback. And once we get the feedback, we produce a bigger lot with more than 100 bags. By the way, we still make some mistakes. The point is that how to move on and overcome the mistake. At that time, my friend told me like, are you sure now if you are an agile coach? You didn't coach us to finish this project like you have done with many companies. I was feeling like I was losing my face. But at that time, I tried to heal myself first and then accept what was happening. And we decided to talk to the manufacturer. Hey, could you please reproduce 100 bags for us? And we learned from this project that we didn't talk to manufacturer every day because of the COVID, but it's just execution. We should have talked to the manufacturer every day via a video call. That is the principle number. Come on. Number. You can answer this question. To talk to each other, the best way to convey information, you need to follow the principle number. It's not a test. Number 6. Face to face. Who answered the 6? No one. Okay. Don't worry. Behind? So the number 6 principle? Yeah. Face-to-face conversation is very important for conveying information. That's why we need to practice the 6th principle. By the way, during the COVID, many people they had their own reasons to shut down their camera when they talk to each other. Right? Could you please turn on your camera? Oh, I didn't meet up today. So I saw many companies like after learning with my Agile workshop for men, you should learn how to order your stuff at your home. You won't have any reason to say like, oh, I have to turn off my camera because my house is messy. Stop it. And for women, you should learn how to make up and then be bright in front of a camera within 3 minutes. And you won't have reasons to say like, oh, I don't make up myself today. Yeah. For this project, that is happening. So we sold more than 100 bags and donated $700 to an Australian relief agency. This one. So happy. And for doing this, you should learn how to let go your ego. Your ego is not your friend. Okay, let's move on to the last one, compassion. Remember in November last year, a strange virus was broken in China in November 2019. We didn't care what was happening actually. We still ran our business, we still travel, and we didn't care each other. Each country still worked like a huge silo, right? Until the virus spread all over the world. Economies stopped. The everyday life of common citizens continue be disrupted until today. Fortunately, Thailand is a safe place, to be here. That's why we can have Agile tour of Bangkok and Agile Alliance, Agile 2020 in DC. Yeah, I was supposed to be a speaker there this year, and Scrum Gathering New York, were cancelled. Yeah, and many people still get stuck in Thailand and cannot move to their country. At that time, we still ran our business, we still travel, and then the virus went all over the world. I woke up one morning and I asked myself, now I cannot even go back to the US. I have to be here in Thailand. What can I do for my beloved country? At that time, I didn't have a job and I got a lot of free time. I saw someone, I saw JJ Sutherland, a son of J. Sutherland. He posted on his LinkedIn about one company tried to apply Scrum to help people with COVID. And many people criticize him. I wrote to him like, hey, don't worry, I will take this idea and make for it. And I still didn't know how to make it happen until I saw a post from my friend who is doctor. He's on the left hand side, who is holding his chest. And he asked for volunteers, to create an app to help Thai people. And we met each other only once because at that time the coronavirus was spreading around Thailand seriously, especially on the day that I woke up in Thonglo, and then my neighborhood announced like we got 11 people in that morning, and I had to leave my place to join this meeting. It's so scary. And then we explore ideas, we try to exchange our thoughts, what we needed to do for Thailand. So we made a decision to create an app to help Thai people we call co-care. Some people here who are on my Facebook might see that in that time in April, I advertised too much and asked you to download this app. So I introduced my team. I introduced my team to know design and engineering methodology for organization. Who know about value stream mapping from lean manufacturing? Please raise your hand. Yeah, it's like value stream mapping. So VSM or value stream mapping from lean manufacturing will help you to understand the whole process of business operations. When I learned this from my university at San Jose, I got bored, to be honest, at the beginning because it's quite the same. But after the middle of the semester, I felt like, wow, this is so advanced. You can understand the whole process from 20 pages of workflow, or even like if you know about value stream mapping, the whole wall here could be used to do value stream mapping, right? But when you look at this demo, we call demo, you can make 20 pages to be one page, and you will save your time, especially for management, to understand the whole process, what you need to do or what you operate your business. So I still have 5 seats left to give away for free. So I'm gonna teach this class on the 15th of January. If you like to join me, just come to me after my session. I will give you free seats. And then I introduced my team to understand Scrum. We made a decision to finish to finish everything in 1 week. But at that time, the inflection rate was too high. From that inflection rate, we could have 10 million people who would be sick from coronavirus. So we changed everything, like we met each other at 9 p.m. So we changed everything from 1 week to be 1 day sprint. You see, from 1 week to be 1 day sprint. So we plan at 9 p.m. and then like after 9 p.m. and on the daytime, yeah, we work together. And then we got new features, yeah, before 9 p.m. on the next day. Yeah, to make sure that Thai people can quarantine at home safely and happily. The point is here, when we work together too much, business people are in Bangkok and developers are in Phuket. So we didn't work together like a team. I saw that. I was a Scrum Master and Agile coach for this project. I saw conflict. If you saw conflict, please ask yourself, do you dare to bring the conflict on the table? Who dare to do this? Good. Yeah, sometimes you saw a conflict, especially at your home. Yeah, your mom might say like, "Stop it, shut up," right? And at work, some bosses still say like, "Shut up." Yeah, like our country. Our country try to maintain harmony. We don't confront any conflict. At work, we need to do conflict management, right? In the US, yeah, during the COVID-19, George Floyd was killed in Minneapolis, and many people came out to protest to ask for his rights. They didn't care about coronavirus spreading. And you see now, the US was the first country to get the vaccine, or the second country after UK, maybe. Yeah, and Thailand has to wait. And we don't really know when we get a vaccine. When we became as a team, our work will become more powerful and meaningful. Please try to manage your conflict at work. See, when you do something before even bringing a conflict on a table or giving suggestion to other people, please ask yourself if you are doing for yourself or you really care about them. This is a good question before speaking up something or giving suggestion to other people. And I really want to do the work with agility. Why? You see, our communities, countries, companies are living like a huge silo. We don't care each other much. When you see the spreading of coronavirus, each country work by itself. We don't care each other. Unfortunately, even among agilist communities, you might have heard a lot this year and last year between Scrum Alliance and Scrum Inc. or even in our communities, we fight each other. We fight against each other. We compete again with each other. If we collaborate, explore ideas, and work together beside business for education, for environment, and for social justice, what do you think? If I have learned anything traveling the world, this is to have compassion, to make people to have a better life, to take risk. You will fail often, learn from it, and don't give up what you are doing or working on until you finally succeed. If you do things, if you do these things, compassion, application, and try to let go your ego, as a consequence, the world will be a better place for living, and the human race will survive into future generations. Thank you.
Okay.
Any questions are welcome.
I have question.
In your slide about the conflict management, in the map that you said you found the problem about the Bangkok and the South. In that time, how can you manage that kind of problem? Okay.
I express my feelings first without emotions. I told my team like, hey guys, hey people, I'm not happy. See, I'm expressing my feelings without emotions. Yeah, we need to practice this first. Yeah.
ค่ะ
Say about how you are feeling without emotions. Yeah. And then my team like, what's wrong? Damn, tell us. Yes. Thank you. Oh, a book for you.
Oh.
Last book. Any question?
Any question?
Okay, thank you. Okay, you got this book for the last one. Talk like Ted.
Talking about ego, right? So unfortunately, I've been working for 10 years, and this topic is impossible to fix. We cannot fix someone else's ego. The what is the best way to like that I learned is to manage this ego. So do you have any paradigm like or something that can manage the ego, especially in the team like Agile team? Because in Agile team, people tend to be more like ownership of that thing, and the ego of each people can crash with other. So, what is the right way to manage this ego, like in your opinion?
Yeah, from my real experience for my life. Yeah, I was an engineer for SCG, such a big company with high income and high position with like many awesome benefits. At that time, when people came late, only 1 minute, I would say like cancel and reschedule. And we needed to wait like a month, yeah, to have a meeting again. That's for the first one. And for the second example, I booked a meeting room and I saw department managers were in the meeting room. And I said like, why we needed to have an app to book a meeting room. So I opened the door and then invite them like, go out, get away. You see my ego in myself. And then I moved to the US, became no one there. And I realized that, oh my gosh, I'm just a human, a little guy in San Francisco that no one knew me. That's the first thing that I realized by myself. And the second thing I asked myself, whether or not I'm still happy to be myself and other people are still happy from who I am. And the answer is no. So I always ask other people with high ego with this question. Are you happy with your life? When you go back home, can you sleep well? Can you fall asleep within a few minutes? And do you think many people who are around you really love you? That's it. And I let people to answer by him or herself. Yeah, if the answer is still yes, we cannot work together and I will invite him or her to okay, let go. We cannot work together. Yeah, we want people who who have the right to mindset and the right society mindset.
Okay. You can have a question without any book.
Yes. Or we still have 5 6 left for free to learn about, I call business operations disruption. Yeah, about demo. Yeah, so I mixed between value stream mapping and demo together. I showed this idea to the creator of demo in the Netherlands, and Jan something. His name is Jan, and he said like, "Go for it, Dam." So I'm gonna mix them together and to create a new name like Dam something. Yeah. Yeah.
Is this something we can just, yeah, I'm interested in, or we have to ask you some question before we get the seat?
Oh, yes, you can do that too.
So yes, I'm interested in.
Yes. Yeah, please sign up. Sign
Thank
up.
you.
Yeah, still have some.
Any question?
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
You told that you traveled around the world and experienced different cultures, right? Can you tell about something remarkable about each culture that you have experienced?
Okay, in San Francisco, actually, like I went back home. So in San Francisco, I realized that there were many meetups about Agile around the city. San Francisco is much different from Bangkok because Bangkok is much bigger than San Francisco, so it's quite difficult for us to travel to meetups in Bangkok. But in San Francisco, at that time, I joined many meetups to have free dinners actually because I was a student, so I didn't have much money. And for San Francisco, it's good to explore your ideas in many meetups. And then I traveled to Texas, yeah, to join Scrum Gathering. Scrum Gathering is such a big conference for people who like implementing Scrum. So you will meet many people who love Scrum. They are inspired and they will help you. Yeah, anything that they want. So I meet many good friends there. So next time, I totally believe that Scrum Gathering might be still in New York. Yeah, please join. Yeah, and then I went to Boston. So I went to Boston to be a co-trainer with Jeff Sutherland at his company. So again, the city itself is really inspiring because his company is next to MIT, Harvard University, Boston University. So when you get there, you will get some energy that you can feel it by yourself. Yeah, especially about it's like in Silicon Valley. People in Silicon Valley and people in Boston want to win. They really realize about the taste of victory. It's really sweet. So if your team members can feel this, that people want to win together, your team will be successful. And then I flew to Stuttgart to join Scrum Day Stuttgart. So people there, even though some people couldn't speak English well, but they try to communicate with you. And of course, there are many kinds of local beers you should join. And then I moved, and then I flew from there to Poland. Yeah, Poland is a good place because it's a place kind of like everything is really cheap. If you want to meet uh, kind people, yeah, go to Poland. Yeah, and they are welcome to teach you and share with you about agile experiences. And then I moved, and then I flew from there to Belgium. Yeah, to share my idea about agile gardening for leadership. So people there could get angry easily. Yeah, but the best French fries are in Belgium, not in France. And then I went to the Netherlands. If you want to go to the Netherlands, you will meet Avi van Benekum, who is a co-author of the Agile Manifesto, and you will meet the creator of Edu Scrum. Yeah, if you go there, I can introduce you to these guys. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, it's like we are tour around the world right now.
I think we can have one last question if there are any.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ah,
you.
questions.
Maybe.
Thank you.
So I think from the beginning we're talking about like cooking.
Yep.
So I mean I got pretty interested by that because like you didn't really mention cooking. So I just want to understand like whether it's really literally a cooking or or like agility cooking in some sense.
Okay, the question is, uh, when you when your mom cooks for you, whether or not your mom asks you what you need to have for dinner.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. That's agile.
Okay.
The next question is, does she ask you for feedback?
Sometimes.
See? See? This is like our behavior at work. Do you dare to ask for feedback or do you dare to listen to feedback? Some people don't dare to listen to feedback because it's like, oh my gosh, it's shit. See, this is a mindset. Do you dare to listen to feedback or do you dare to ask for feedback? It's about cooking, yeah, at home.
Thank you.
And sometimes your mom said like, have it, shut up. It's not agile.
Okay, one last question then from me.
Oh.
You mentioned about you utilize Scrum with research,
Yep.
right? I would like to you to explain more how
Okay.
to utilize it
Yep.
and how it look like.
Okay, you to finish a research paper, you have your own step. You have your own step, many steps there. And to do Scrum, actually for one sprint, you make sure that you deliver a potentially shippable product. That's mean the first round of finishing a research paper, you make sure that you finish from the first step to the last step. But for doing that, researcher cannot do it because they need a lot of data for the first time by executing surveys or something and then collect data and then analyze before proposing solutions. The point is that it's like waterfall, right, for finishing a research paper, and we want to iterate that we cannot do it. Yeah, if you want to do this, you might be able to like you finish the first draft without real data. That could be the first sprint to be called a potentially shippable product. Yeah, by the end, it's quite hard for researchers to do first iteration and second iteration or the third iteration. It's kind of like I don't want to say like impossible for them. That's why we say like we do Scrum in waterfall. So you plan what you need to do in the first step. You talk to each other. It's like sprint planning. And then every day you update. Yeah, what you have done, what you plan for the next 24 hours. And the 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 point is like what is blocking you. So many researchers they have high ego. They don't talk to each other, especially bringing up problems, because when you tell many problems, you become a problem maker. คือใครบอกปัญหาคนนั้นคือตัวปัญหาครับอันนี้คือองค์กรทั่วโลกเป็นแบบนี้เนาะแล้ว after that when you finish the first step you review what you have finished what you have done with your team members and you retrospective what you learned from the first step before moving to the second step. That's it. If you don't do this, you might do retrospective when you finish the last step. And then you move on to the next research paper with different people, different methodologies, different project. And you couldn't apply or you couldn't use knowledge from your project to that new project at all because you have everything different. Yeah. So this is the point.
โอเคครับ
Thank you very
Thank you so
much.
much.
We have
Thank you.
Very much.
a gift for him.
Gift for you.